They grabbed a jacket, ran to a helicopter, got in the helicopter, flew up the mountain, ran to the lady, lobbed the jacket in her face, and ran away.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Everyone talks about marketing trends, Dan, so why should the anchors listening listen to us banging on about them?
Well, if you are a marketer or business owner that wants to look like you know more about marketing than you actually do, this is the episode for you. Because I'm a bit sad and spend hours and hours consuming marketing content and learning about it. And in this episode, I want to share, or we both want to share, some of the key trends that we've seen happening in the marketing space with specific examples from brands. But these aren't like your bog standard trends that everyone copies off each other. You know, like you've seen all those
Like the blog, like trends of 2024.
Yeah. Video is a trend. Like it's none of that crap.
Mm.
It's actual examples of things that we've seen that I haven't seen many people talking about. And I've done a few posts about this on LinkedIn and they've really blown up because it's a bit of a unique angle on what we see trending and happening next year.
I think these kind of things are good opportunities for marketers and business leaders, because if there's something that's working for other businesses in a big way, and it's kind of new or creative, the sooner you can replicate that success, the better. Because obviously trends come and go, and once everyone's doing certain things, you won't get that extra benefit out of it as well. So another good learning episode, hopefully.
This is one of those ones where you should listen and then action the examples and stuff. Like we've already started implementing what we've learned from these examples into our own clients' campaigns. And
anything else you want to tell the listeners they have to do during this episode?
Well, we don't have to, but I'm just trying to help. I mean,
very helpful. Okay. Anything I should do whilst being on the podcast?
Just be good at podcasting.
Okay. Will do.
So I want to start with the first trend. Now, have you heard, Lloyd, of a drink called Prime?
I have, actually, because I was going to say I'm so down with the kids, but it's so mainstream now, you don't have to be, really. Yes, I have.
So Prime, obviously, it's been blowing up even more in 2023. It's the drinks brand that is heavily promoted by KSI and Logan Paul. Interestingly, it's owned by another company. I can't remember the name of it. But Logan Paul and KSI only have a small share of the company. Yep. They make it seem like, Prime is ours and everything, but it's actually not. It's owned by another company. They're sort of paid to promote it and have equity. Something really interesting about Prime is they have sort of carved out their own unique content format that not many people are doing, and it's incredibly effective.
Oh, God. Don't want to get infected by Prime.
It's incredibly effective. Do you want to know what that type of content is?
I do. Please tell me. And the anchors.
So I've made up a name for it.
Oh. Is it a really good name?
I call it Visual Data Backed Product Comparison, or VDBPC for short.
That is such a cool name, Dan. Visual Data Backed Product Comparison.
Yeah. So if you're on social and you've seen Prime, which you probably have, there's this type of content that Logan and KSI do quite a lot, where they basically compare their Prime drink to other drinks brands. Mm-hmm. So, for example, they did this one with Gatorade. They got like over 34 million views on YouTube Shorts, one of their most effective videos to promote Prime on Shorts, where they got Prime and they got a Gatorade, and then they talked about different statistics about the ingredients and things, and then the level of sugar in each of them. Mm-hmm. And Logan pours like out of a cup. It's not like high production or anything. It's just in a little cup, sugar. This is the sugar that's in Prime. Pours it on the table. You know, visually you're like, okay. This is the sugar that's in Gatorade, and it's like a massive cupful. Yeah, shitloads more than Prime.
We've been saying for years about how, like, when we use data in marketing for our clients, it performs so much better, and we don't understand why businesses don't do it more. Because it's like in marketing, you're trying to convince people that your product or service is better than others, or convince people that you get these benefits from our product or service. And in this case, you're just literally putting the facts in front of people, and because it's data and it's not your opinion, because they do other things where they say like Prime tastes better, and it's like, yeah, it might do, but that's your opinion. This data stuff, I don't understand why more businesses don't do it. It's worked so well for Prime.
It's especially if you sell a product or service where you are saying that you are better than your competitors, you know, there's some brands out there that specifically say our product is better than the leading provider or whatever of whatever you're doing. And if you do make those claims, there's no better format of content than this visual data backed product comparison content. So I really reckon Lloyd, you're sort of exaggerating drinking a drink.
Sorry,
there.
I was just drinking an isotonic drink.
Oh, what isotonic drink's that, Lloyd?
I was just drinking Emerge.
Oh, who are Emerge, Lloyd?
Emerge is a client of ours, and they're just, I don't have the data in front of me, but I would say better than Prime.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm the new KSI.
So this, I would definitely recommend trying this content format. And the clever thing they do, they don't just say, our product's got this, the competitor's got that. It's the visual element reinforcing that. There's another example. There's a company called Chamber Media. A guy called Travis Chambers started it years ago. They produce really sort of entertaining ads in America. I remember seeing one of their ads it was like a protein drink kind of brand, and they built these two huge mixers, or what they call
like the Ninja type food processor.
Food processor.
Yeah.
They built these like life size, like as tall as two people, and in the ad they visually poured a load of stuff in and said, "This is the amount of protein in normal protein drinks," and then they poured like 5 times the amount of these big balls into this water, into the fake processor. Yeah. This is our protein, and it's that thing of, you don't even really need to listen to what they're saying. Yeah. You can just see the copy come up and see visually like, wow, that one is way better than the other one. I think
that's what people can take away from this trend. So yes, you might be thinking, oh yeah, we can't afford to have people like KSI and Logan Paul promoting our brand, or like, you know, we don't have the budget to do that day to day for our brands. But there's two sides of this that make it work brilliantly and that don't require KSI and Logan Paul. One side is the data, so communicating with data, so people can't not be convinced by it because it's just, oh, that's the truth. And the second thing is how you creatively show that visually. Because if you just boringly say, oh, my drink's got less sugar than this, even though you've got the data there, no one gives a shit. So it's linking that with how you creatively and visually put that in front of people. And if you get those two together in the right way, it's just such a good strategy.
I've actually seen this for other brands as well. Can't reveal the details, but we've just started working with a new healthy sweets brand. And in the research when we were doing research for the pitch for that, there was a type of content on LinkedIn that was incredibly effective, where this guy was going into supermarkets, picking out 2 products that say they're healthy sweets for kids, and then literally getting the back of them and going, this one's got, you know, all this crap in. Look, this, and this, whereas this one hasn't. And like showing you the sweets and sort of prodding you in the face with them with the video.
I feel like traditional marketing, you know, TV ads and stuff for food, it's worked all these years, just like Activia yogurt. They just call it like Activia, whatever it's called, gut health. And then even though there's an asterisk and it kind of just says like, yogurt might be good for your gut and that, and it doesn't actually say anything. Gut health is just the name of that. I feel like traditional marketing, that on a TV, gut health, and everyone's like, oh, I'll buy that. Now with like vertical video and social and platforms like TikTok, like advertising has changed. You don't need this flashy TV ad where you just say a few words. Like you can go into more detail and these kind of things where people genuinely are just like, I'm going to read the back of this and all the ingredients. I feel like there's been a big shift there that you can do that with your marketing now, whereas previously, like, no, we need this catchy thing you've got to say in a sentence. Now, like, no, I'm just going to read all this shit from our competitors' ingredients, and people will actually listen.
This is a great segue to the second trend. I don't even think you realised it, Lloyd.
I'm just good at segues, mate.
But the next trend I want to talk about is, and give you an example of, is a company called Box Bollen. Have you heard of a company called Box Bollen, or have you seen any of their ads, Lloyd?
No.
So
I don't think
have you actually not?
I don't recognise the name.
Okay, so Box Bollen it's basically a sports product where you you Velcro something to your head, and it's got like a stretchy bit of string with a small foamy ball on the end.
I've seen loads of this.
And you punch it. You punch it, and it's connected. And they've got an app, and they do all these competitions to try and.
I've seen like Wayne Rooney doing it, and
So let me tell you some interesting things about Boxbollen, which leads into this trend.
Okay.
So it was founded by 2 Swedish brothers. In 2022, they turned over $12 million. In the projected turnover for 2023 was $25 million. Something really interesting they do that's really helped this blow up is they've gamified the product and made it competitive. So they do these competitions where users can win between £1,000 and £10,000 by getting the most punches and
really?
videoing it, and like it looks addictive.
Yeah.
It looks like really addictive. They've got over 200 million TikTok views. The most interesting thing they're doing though, right? They've partnered with some crazy celebrities for this. Tyson Fury, Conor McGregor, Jessica Simpson, Khloe Kardashian, Bill Gates, Tom Brady. And this list goes on and on and on. All these
Like big names.
crazily big influencers and celebrities. And what I find super interesting is when you look at the content they've made with these celebrities, it looks like it's been filmed on a potato.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything from them that is like high production value content. It's almost like, I think I saw Wayne Rooney, something like that, and it looks like his partner or his kid is like
He's literally just
filming
holding
on his phone. Like there's it's not like a production crew involved or a marketing agency. It's just one of his family
On the phone.
That's what it looks like anyway.
And not slating that at all. This is the interesting thing. If you think how much they have paid these celebrities, we don't know the exact figures, but knowing that Kim Kardashian, it's been reported she gets paid like $1 million for one Instagram post. Her sister Khloe Kardashian and people like Tyson Fury, they're getting paid a shitload of money to promote this brand. And the brand is asking them, their partners, the kids to use a phone and create content. What's super interesting about this is this focus on less lower production value content published on like a smartphone and like user generated content, which has been a thing for a while now. But if a brand like Boxbollen that's forecasted to turn over 25 million in 2023 and is working with the world's leading influencers and celebrities, if they are doing user generated content that's a low production value, that is a sign to the world that marketers need to be testing that.
Yeah.
And it ties in with the point you said, because you were talking about like lower production content and just capturing stuff. Like this feels more real and authentic. I genuinely think, like thinking about it, seeing the Tyson Fury ad, that probably convinced me more to buy the product than if they would have done a really beautiful high production value. Look at this cool product, traditional TV ad.
Do you know the weird thing? Like if they did a high production thing with Tyson Fury doing this thing, my initial reaction is that's advertising and they're selling to me. And even though I know that it's still advertising and they're selling to me with the lower production content, I still feel that it's more authentic and I'm more convinced by it. Which is completely counterintuitive to like 20 years ago. People would, if you shot something look really unprofessional, they'd be like, "Oh God, that's terrible. I'm not going to buy that." Whereas in some instances, it is switching now, and it's really interesting. You talking about the turnover of the company? I do wonder. I think the people they've got involved, I'm thinking they must have paid them shitloads, and I can't see this. I don't think it would be profitable even with that turnover.
This is my slight red flag.
But I do wonder. Like, I'm interested with the background of, are they just doing this to get it so big that they're thinking like, all right, we'll stop paying the Kardashian stuff, and then over the next 10 years we're going to make so much money because the brand's being built. I also wonder, and we haven't worked with like influencers on the level of Bill Gates, Tyson Fury, and the Kardashians. So I don't have this experience, but would using our experience and knowledge from who we work with, I'm thinking potentially you get a better deal if you say, oh no, we're not going to have like a shoot date you have to turn up to with our production crew and stuff. Like we can send you this, it's on your phone.
Probably taking 5 minutes to make.
It's like 5 minutes and you can just get like one of your family to shoot it in your living room. Like you've got this window of time when you can do it. It's not like, oh, the shoot date's today, you have to do it. I wonder whether they get better value with these celebrities and influencers because of that. It's like, if you're a Kardashian, no, I need 1.5 million for a video. It's like, well, how about would you do it for 750,000 if you can do it any time in the next 3 months? Shoot it on your phone. None of us need to be involved. You have no one turn up at your house or anything like that. Maybe they get a good deal relatively.
I reckon they've given them equity or something as well. Like, because the numbers don't add up. I've shared about 8 top tier celebrities there. There's like 20, 30, 40, 50 more that I haven't shared. Like top Premier League footballer was like Wayne Rooney.
Because I completely believe in user-generated content being a big part of what works in marketing for a lot of businesses and brands, and it should be with the balance of different things. But what I don't understand is the economics of paying people like this on this level with user-generated content. So be interested to see, like, in the next few years what happens with that brand.
I think my final point on this trend, just to summarize, is try UGC content. Like, definitely try and test UGC content. But that's not to say that higher production value content doesn't have a place in the kind of marketing mix. There's certainly a place for that. Like, and we've proven that with campaigns that we've run for some of the world's leading brands.
Can I briefly take the piss out of you? Just for a bit of an interlude. You said UGC content.
Yeah.
So can I just point out that that's user-generated content?
Oh, yeah.
Just thought, because in my head I thought, he sounds like a twat. So I just wanted to let everyone else know.
Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks for pointing that out.
You could either say UG content, or you could say UGC, or user-generated content.
Thanks, Lloyd.
It's a bit like when, fun fact, people say PIN number, but the N stands for number. So, naan bread. Naan means bread, so you're saying bread.
Great additions, Lloyd.
Thank you very much. So there's 2 trends there that I think we already can learn a lot from. Have you got any more for us, Dan? And have you got any that involve any more acronyms that you can get wrong?
Yes.
Cool.
PR.
Okay. PRR?
No. So reactive PR stunts.
Okay.
Now,
RPR.
If you work in the world of marketing, or you even use social media, you'd have definitely seen a reactive PR stunt from a brand. What a reactive PR stunt is, I guess there's lots of different ways of thinking about this, but in my way of thinking about things, a reactive PR stunt is where something has happened in the world, either externally to a brand or like a customer has created a piece of content about the brand, and then the brand has reacted in a creative way to get press. That's the simple explanation of reactive PR. Now, this has definitely been blowing up more and more and more. A few examples, just to give you an example of what this is. So I don't know if many of you would have seen Dash Drinks when
Prince Harry
was in court about the scandal to do with tapping his phone. They basically went, all eyes of the world were in London on this court case when Prince Harry was turning up in his car. Dash This went there with a big kind of sandwich board on them, which promoted Dash This with a clever, witty thing.
Not Dash This, sorry, Dash Drinks.
Dash Drinks, not Dash This. That's a marketing software we use. Dash Drinks. And then they were handing out Dash Drinks, and they got loads of PR in front of the world's media by cleverly reacting to something that's happening in the world. Another example is, have you heard of Stanley Cups? I feel like this is more of an American thing.
Do you know what? I've seen it on social, but I don't kind of get the hype around it, but I've just seen them mentioned loads. So like, something.
I've seen TikTok videos of kids crying and sobbing because they're so happy they got a Stanley Cup, which is basically a cup for your drink.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Stanley Cup super fans.
Yeah, I'm sure like it's probably a good product, but I don't quite get in my head why everyone's so hyped up about it.
So just to describe what it is, imagine like a traditional mug you put your tea in, but it's huge, made of plastic with a straw in the top. Have you seen them? Is that a kind of...
Oh my God, I want one!
Right. So there's these kids that are crazy about these cups. So something that happened in America, a lady crashed her car with a Stanley Cup in the car.
This is something I saw, yeah.
And she did this TikTok like, oh, I've crashed my car. And the car was fucked. Like,
yeah,
it looked like written off and like half of it ripped off. And then she just holds this Stanley Cup that's in perfect condition. Like, but my Stanley Cup survived or whatever, she says in a video. Went viral because it's quite shocking and like, wow, that's impressive. And then the CEO of Stanley did a reply TikTok video basically saying, we saw what happened to you. We hope you're all right. We're going to buy you a new car. Which blew up. And
they've already got more value than the car they'll buy from that post anyway. So, and then this makes it go even further.
So now let me tell you an example of a company that got this wrong. Very wrong.
Okay.
North Face.
Yeah.
So this was a really weird one. So basically, people may have seen that there was a video on TikTok that blew up where a lady was wearing a North Face jacket walking on a mountain, and she was soaked through, and she was basically saying how crap the North Face jacket was because it wasn't waterproof. It was pissing it down rain, and she basically got soaked. And she did this whole 2-minute TikTok where she was slating North Face, sorry. And North Face's reaction video was mental. Let's just dive into this. So what the video they did was, they did a video where someone was in their North Face store, they grabbed a jacket, ran to a helicopter, got in the helicopter, flew up the mountain, ran to the lady, lobbed the jacket in her face, and ran away. Right? So that was their reactive. It got millions of views and stuff. But what I find weird about this is, right, so firstly, they haven't solved the issue of their jackets not delivering on their promises of being waterproof. They just got this lady a new jacket and lobbed it in her face. 2, the whole thing around sustainability. Like for this video, they've just got a helicopter to fly to this lady when all these kind of outdoor activity brands are promoting like they're being sustainable and stuff. 3, they're actively trying to promote and get PR for this woman saying that their products don't deliver on their promises.
I think I
just don't get it.
That's where I think they really missed the mark. So in this case, they're reacting to something that's blown up to do with their own brand. And I would say if there's something negative about your brand, unless you can completely prove it wrong and tell the world, no, they are waterproof. We've got a video. She just chucked water under her jacket. Like then I can see doing something to blow this up might be sensible for the brand. But I think those negative things are where brands should kind of quietly make it right, like with that person, and even responding like, oh, we're so disappointed with this. We've sent you this, and this, and we're doing some more testing on products to make sure this never happens again. Like quietly just be like, oh, this isn't good enough. We're going to do this to make it right. But the decision when it's something negative about your brand or product to make loads more people see it, and like you said, without solving the problem or making anyone think it's any better, they're letting more people know their product shit and having a more negative effect on sustainability, all that kind of messaging as well.
Do you know what I think they should have done? Because I think all your points are valid. This is what I think they should have done. They should have done some kind of reactive campaign where they contacted this lady and they created a piece of content where they paid for her to come to their head offices or whatever, went to the head offices, got her to speak to their product development team and speak about how can they prevent this from happening in future products. Had some like gimmicky thing where we've given her a lifetime supply of North Face jackets or something that's gimmicky that, could be a good PR headline, and then published that and said, look, we saw the issue, we're addressing the issue, and now for future, that issue is going to be solved for all of our customers. Yeah. Whereas what they've done is we've seen the issue, done nothing about it, told millions of people there's an issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Strange. It's just mental.
Very strange. Going back to the reactive PR, we spoke to Carrie Rose from Rise at 7 about this kind of thing. She spoke about forgotten the name of the incredibly popular TV show.
Describe what it is and we'll try and flesh
Squid
it out.
Games.
Squid Games.
Great podcasting, Lloyd. Spoke about Squid Games. So in the original Squid Games, I can't remember what the brand is, but every contestant was wearing the same trainers.
Oh,
I can't remember the brand.
Her saying
but,
this. I think it was Vans, wasn't it?
Potentially.
Was it white Vans or something like that?
But basically, this sold out overnight. Originally, the brand at first were kind of like, why is this particular shoe selling out or whatever? But it's those kind of things. If there's real benefit now in like either linking your brand to something that's happening in the world, or sometimes your brand, if you're a bigger brand, can actually jump onto something trends in popular culture very quickly and make the most of it. I think that's really important as well. So if you are the manager for a big brand, you want to be ready and have a plan. It's like, okay, if our product or our brand is suddenly mentioned by one of the biggest celebrities in the, people get pictured with certain jackets or certain products. We work with Mr. Freeze ice poles, and Lewis Hamilton had one in an interview with Formula One, and obviously that's a massive opportunity that you didn't know it was coming. But I think knowing that could be the case as a brand manager for a bigger brand and being ready to jump on that and take action quickly is something we've all got to learn as well, I think.
it's trying to be clever as well, because it's so easy to miss the mark, isn't it?
Yeah.
To try and just come across as you're trying to be clever. So it's really trying to think,
especially having to work quickly. You're like, we've got to jump on this, but you see a lot of brands muck up because you can tell, they've tried to do this quickly and they've really missed the mark.
I think there was one that you mentioned, Carrie from Rise at 7. I think Rise at 7 did this ages ago. There was the Bernie Sanders chair meme where he was in gloves at a ceremony in America.
He was all cold and wrapped up.
He was all cold, and they basically did a fake IKEA ad where it was him on the chair, and then it was like what the chair was and the price of the chair.
And they also had oven gloves because it looked like his mittens were oven gloves. So 2 of their products.
Just really, that was really clever.
That was really simple, really quick. And I think Bernie as well is someone who isn't too controversial. If it's someone like Trump, you're probably going to get a whole load of people going, "Oh, I'm boycotting IKEA. They're taking the piss out of Trump." It's kind of like just a nice, harmless thing. It's good. That is a good example.
Can I share another trend with you to do with car crash advertising?
You can. What do you mean by car crash advertising?
So again, I've sort of named this my thing. You probably can come up with a more catchy name.
That's a bit of a phrase here, isn't it? You've named things yourself.
Yeah.
I would say this is more catchy than the other one that had about 12 words.
Okay. So car crash advertising.
CCA.
And I describe these as ads and marketing that's impossible to stop watching, but is bloody annoying. And if you think of some traditional ads like the Go Compare ad, Go Compare, like so annoying, but it's in your head and you can't stop thinking about Go Compare. The ad that specifically came up more recently that made me think of this is a company called High Smile. Have you heard of High Smile?
Yes.
So they went from a £20,000 investment to turning over $200 million. Sorry, $20,000 investment to turning over $200 million in 6 years. So it's incredibly successful company. You can't avoid their ads. If you're on social, you would have been targeted with their ads. I was targeted with an ad recently there's always this bald guy. There's always this bald guy in all of the ads, and he just does annoying stuff, and it's just so bloody annoying. This ad, he's running around the factory where they're making this product, literally shouting at the screen, "It's only 5 days until the sale ends." And I noticed myself having some weird like human reaction where I couldn't stop watching because someone was shouting at me. And it was incredibly annoying, but I couldn't stop watching it. And I listened to everything he said, and it talked about the product and the benefits. And this is why you should buy the product.
Should we try that on the pod? Should we just start shouting?
I guess there's an angle for it, but we don't want to be that guy.
Oh, okay. We don't want to be.
No.
But I mean, you're saying it's a trend. So do you think this is something that people should be trying?
I do think so. But you need to be clever about this. I think just shouting at the audience is just quite a cheap tactic. I think there's better ways you can do this. Like for example, we've done a few years ago now. We did parodies of adverts like the Go Compare ad. There's a video somewhere. Maybe we can get this up in the edit if it's still around. Of Lloyd dressed up as the Go Compare man with pipe cleaners for his tash. And we did a parody of that, so we tapped into that in a creative way. We also did a parody of the
Sell It Bang? No?
The Sell It Bang ad. That's another example. But I was thinking of the Windows and Conservatories. You buy one, you get one free. I said, you buy one, you get one free. So there's this guy that's another example of a traditional ad that is so annoying. But
it's just weird and shouty.
It was a weird guy, bald guy with a ponytail pushing over chairs, shouting at the screen, saying, "You buy one."
Windows. It was for Windows. He was pushing over Windows.
Oh, was it Windows?
Yeah.
Oh, I
thought pushing over. You buy one.
I know. We pushed over chairs.
Yeah, we didn't have Windows or the budget for Windows.
So yeah, the lesson from this one, I guess, is thinking about testing some kind of marketing that may seem a bit annoying and catchy, but it's impossible to stop watching. We kind of use strategies in our marketing of videos punching in and out, changing the look of the video frequently so that people are staying engaged. There's little tactics like that you can use to that might be slightly annoying but are impossible to stop watching. So what about Lloyd? Can you finish us off with a...
Aw.
Can you finish the pod off with a trend that you've seen?
Yeah.
Because it's been a lot of me talking.
Quick-
I'm sorry.
Quick
Anchors.
fire trends from Lloyd.
Quick fire trends from Lloyd. Let's do it.
QFT FL. Quick fire trends from Lloyd. My first one is, I think there's going to be a massive focus on retention rate rather than engagement rate. If you're a marketer, you'll know what we're saying. But over the years, obviously at first, we all used to look at, I've got this many likes on my Facebook page. Or you look at follower numbers and things. And then it was kind of moving to, they're kind of vanity metrics. Really, you want to look at engagement rate. Like how are people engaging with your content? That's more of a thing. And I think we're going even further than that now. Now with clever paid campaigns, you can increase engagement, and engagement can be fairly steady on a platform between different accounts and stuff. But retention rate with vertical video, I think is going to be a much bigger focus. So if you're a brand that's putting out 1,000 vertical videos this year, if people are watching on average the first second of those vertical videos, or if people on average are watching 10 seconds of the vertical videos, it's going to have a massively different impact on your business. And I think brands are putting out so much vertical video, there'll be a big, much more of a focus on retention rate. I think people are looking more into the analytics and be like, hang on, we're putting out all this stuff, but most of our videos, people are just swiping. It counts because a lot of the platforms, it counts as a view still, and it's come up on their feed, but they've swiped past. So I think retention rate is going to get much more focused with us marketers.
TikTok in their analytics. Have a look. They've got a really cool feature where they've got a retention graph where you can slide your finger across it to see when people drop off the video. Yeah. Various social platforms have different ways of doing it, but that's one that I definitely. If
you want to improve, it is as simple as look at the points where people drop off of your video. There's something in those seconds of the video. People are like, oh no, this isn't for me anymore. I'm bored. Yeah. Or this isn't relevant to me.
When you started talking on the pod, instant
massive drop. Yeah.
And then I start and it goes up again.
Yeah. Exactly. So, an example, if we were using that analysis, we'd say, okay, Lloyd shouldn't talk anymore.
Are you just going to be silent now? Do you want me to read your quick fire?
No, I just thought I'd make you nervous. I've got a second quick fire one, and I just think influencer marketing is going to become more niche and authentic. Bit weird with this box bollen thing, kind of counters that. I do think at first influencer marketing, when it came on the scene, it was basically like, everyone's selling teeth whitening things, and it didn't matter if you wanted white teeth or that person was relevant to have white teeth. Just like the teeth whitening people had a budget, and they're like, get everyone on the internet to sell these, and sold a load of stuff. And I think that worked for a while. And that was when people didn't realize influencer marketing was influencer marketing. It's like, this must be good. All the people I follow are talking. This must be so good.
It's weird. Everyone is saying the same thing.
Yeah, and it's obviously Gen Z and Gen A coming through. They've started their life on the internet with influencer marketing. They're completely savvy to it. And I think now brands are having to partner with more niche creators that are much more relevant, and having to make it more authentic. So I don't think, from what I'm seeing, which was why I was thinking this box bonnet's kind of counter to that, like Bill Gates punching a boxing thing. I kind of think this is what I think won't be happening in the future, because people are like, I don't like, Bill Gates is a really rich, does computers, but I'm not really convinced that this fitness thing by Bill Gates. Whereas someone like Tyson Fury, if he's doing it, you might be more like, this is relevant, and if he's using something like this, I might actually give this a go, even though I know this is advertising. So I think brands are getting more savvy to it, not just putting budget everywhere because someone's got a big audience. And potentially there's going to be more potential for those smaller creators. If you've only got, I say only, but if you've only got 50,000 followers, but you constantly talk about, I don't know, kids' prams, then you're going to get business selling kids' prams.
There is a lady called the Pram Lady.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I think niche opportunities for those more authentic, that more authentic influence advertising is going to continue to be on the rise, rather than just the broad approach of let's just give people big audiences brand deals.
Nice. Thank you for your quick fire trends.
That's okay. QFT.
also just want to say thank you, Anchors, for listening. We're really excited for another year of podcasting with you.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're enjoying these episodes. We're going to, if you've got any feedback, let us know, because we want to continue to improve these. And subscribe as well. I know we always say it.
Do all of those things.
Just subscribe now.
We love you, Anchors. Thank you. We really enjoy these episodes and enjoy hearing from you. So hopefully we hear from you soon, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And we will see you in your ears next week.
Just before you go, we want to take a second to talk about our podcast sponsors, Adobe Express. Adobe Express enables anyone to quickly and easily create standout social graphics, logos, flyers, banners, and more on the web and mobile. There are so many amazing features and benefits to using Adobe Express. You can choose from thousands of beautifully designed templates to inspire you and get started. You can quickly remove a background, convert JPEG to PNG, videos to GIFs, merge videos, change video speeds, and more. Apply your brand to your content in just a tap and collaborate with your colleagues through shared templates and libraries. You'll also get access to the entire diverse, royalty-free Adobe stock photo collection created by the world's best professionals and choose from over 20,000 licensed Adobe fonts, as well as their collection of curved typesets, grids, and exquisite font pairings. You can apply standout photo effects in seconds, discover easy bite-sized tips to get you started on the Learn tab, or connect on one of their creator community spaces to stay close to our team and fellow users. Now that's a lot of features to get your teeth into. Click the link in the description of the episode to give Adobe Express a go today, and we'll see you next week.